So today we're going to talk a little bit about anxiety, okay? And before we get into it, why do I do these personal talks, about my life? It's not that I feel that people are going to be interested in knowing what I went through, that my life is so important. But when it comes to life or business, if you want to be a successful employee and you have a good career, you're looking to move up, or if you want to open a business, most of the time, or even if you want to get married, for example, right? Most of the time, people automatically jump to money, 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 money. How can I make more money? How can I, move up? How can I be a better business owner? Or how can I open this business? I need a loan. I need a location. Or if you're going to get married, we need to save money. We need to buy a bigger apartment because we're going to have children. And you start thinking about money, 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 and location, location, blah, blah, blah. But that's not really where it starts. Where it starts, if you want to be successful, is really making sure that you are in the right up here 100%. That is the first step. Because if you are not in the right, if you are not 100% in your mind, you are not going to be able to be the employee that you could be, get the promotion that you want. You might be able to open a business, but you're not going to be as successful as you can be because you have so many things on your mind. You're stressed. Certain things in your life aren't worked out. And it could really cripple you, prevent you from going where you want. Or it could even, I've seen companies completely destroyed, families completely destroyed because people don't get the help that they need or come to terms with the fact that they have to settle things in their mind first. And anxiety is not only something that I struggled with for years. I was diagnosed with major anxiety and depression as well. It was a key factor in destroying my life, my past life, that is. And it's anxiety in particular is the most common mental illness in the United States, okay? And for those of you, or if you have relatives and family members out there who are telling you, if you suffer from these things or you feel that there's something going on up here, and you got people telling you, it's all in your head, you just got to think positive, blah, 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 well, that's a bunch of bullshit because it doesn't work that way, okay? There's a reason why it's called a mental illness, a mental disorder, because your mind is not functioning properly, okay? And when you suffer from anxiety, for those of you who are not familiar with the disorder, you can look it up, very simple, anything you want right online, right, on Google. But just to give you a quick rundown, anxiety is something that you're always worrying about 5 minutes from now, tomorrow, next week, months, next year, what's going to happen in your life years from now. And you're constantly overthinking, worrying about how you're going to get to where you need to go and how you're going to make ends meet. And sometimes most of the time actually, you are thinking worst case scenario, okay? For example, when it comes to me and my daughter, most of my friends who see me spend time with my daughter, you will always see me next to her, okay? I'm always next to her because most of the time I'm thinking, because, my daughter's 8 years old, okay? She is not consciously aware of when we're walking outside, the ground is uneven, or if we go hiking, tree roots coming out, or rocks that are not flat so she can trip. She's not focused on that, right? So my mind is constantly thinking, oh my God, what if she trips and cracks her head and she's bleeding and then maybe we have to go to the hospital, and I don't want to see my daughter in pain. So I'm always next to her making sure that everything is okay. Because unfortunately, maybe the likelihood of these terrible things happening are at the minimum, but they can happen, right? I mean, look at that whole story about the gorilla and the mom. And the mom she was not paying attention, and in just a few seconds, the kid crawls under and falls down into the water with the gorilla, right? I mean, what's the likelihood of something like that happening? Doesn't really happen very often, but it happened because she wasn't paying attention, and then I think, oh my God, look at that. So this is an example of when you have anxiety. When you go to the bank, for example, and you're at the ATM and everything is fine because nobody's there, but then someone shows up and they start waiting for you because they need to use the ATM, and you start feeling stressed because you see someone is waiting for you to finish and you feel like you have to speed things up. Some of you might feel like, oh, you know what, I'm taking too long. I'm just going to cancel my transaction and come back later, right? Some of you, this is what happens. This is what goes through your mind. That is anxiety, major anxiety, where you feel stressed out for like the littlest things. It can be very, very damaging, very crippling, and like I said earlier, really, really has the potential to completely destroy so many important things in your life if you don't get the help that you need. I never wanted to be on medication. Although I did try taking medicine, I was one of those rare percentages, rare or whatever, that the side effects for every medication that I tried were really, really nasty. So I stopped taking medication and I was trying to figure out different things that I could do to help me get my mind under control. And that's really what I wanted to talk to you, what I wanted to share with you today. And this, it's going to sound really ridiculous. It's going to sound stupid. It's going to sound silly, but you need to trust me and try, because I've been doing this now for the past few months, and it has helped me tremendously to move forward and to start fighting and get over a lot of what's happening up here. Okay. When it comes to some of you who get a new job, or you want to try something new in your life, right? And a lot of times you are so excited, you are so into doing something new. And in the first few weeks or the first few months, you're really into it, you're really excited, you're giving it 150%, but then you notice that after a certain amount of time, that excitement kind of dies down, and you feel like you don't you don't feel the same passion or excitement anymore, and you're questioning yourself as to why that went away, right? And that's part of anxiety, because what anxiety does a lot of times, you're worried so much, you're worried, and maybe you are in line for a promotion, right? Maybe you're doing such a great job at whatever it is that you're doing, and you have the chance to go further. But what your mind does to you is that your brain is worried about if you actually fail. The pain and the when we go through rejection, or if we don't get the promotion, or if we get the promotion and then we fail and we're not doing as good as a leader or manager or a husband, wife, or whatever, your mind a lot of times wants to prevent you from feeling that failure, from feeling that rejection. So what your brain does to you is your brain will make you feel as though you are bored, or that you are no longer excited about whatever it is you are trying to achieve, because your mind doesn't want to take a chance at the possibility of you failing at something, right? So the anxiety causes your mind to make you go through all these emotions in a way to try to protect you. And that's why I always say that the mind is really fascinating, and you should read about these types of things. And what I do that has helped me to get over these types of things is you make a list of different tasks to do every single day. And I'm talking about bullshit, nothing tasks. But you need to take a piece of paper and you need to physically write a checklist for yourself. And it's just stupid things like brush your teeth, cook breakfast, make coffee, clean your kitchen sink when you're done, go to the bank. Okay? These bullshit little things. And you're going to do that every single day. And again, it's going to seem really stupid to you and you're probably going to laugh. But the way that your brain is perceiving these things is every time you do something and you complete it and you check it off, what you're doing is you are training your mind to think, every time I have something to do, I get it done. It doesn't matter that it's something stupid. What you are doing to yourself is showing your mind every time you have a task, you can complete it. And that is it. And you do that for a few weeks or for a month or two. And over time, you're going to find that it's going to be easier and easier for you to start handling more serious tasks, because your mind is already being trained that, hey, it's no problem because every time I have something to do, I can take care of it. And then as time goes on, you start giving yourself more challenging tasks. Like one of the things that I'm doing is I'm trying to learn 2 different languages at the same time. And when I first started doing it, it was really, really overwhelming. But now, as I've been training my brain, it's actually getting to a point where I don't even think about it. I just sit down and start studying, and I learn. And it's surprisingly very simple. It's really, really easy. One of the languages I've been learning is Thai. I've been learning to read, to write, to speak it, understand it. And everybody's like, "Rah, I can't believe it. How can you? It's so, you must be like a genius." And no. If you sit down and just force yourself, put the time in to do it, it is really, really easy. So these are the things that I have been personally doing on my own for the past several months, and it has really, really helped. And over time, if you keep following every day a small little schedule, routine for yourself, over a course of several months and years to come, if you want to open a business, or let's say you want to expand your company and you were kind of afraid to do it, these things really help to push you in a better direction to make sure that to help you so you can move forward, so that you can progress with different things in your life, okay? And I'm no doctor, I don't have the answer for everything, and maybe this is something that's not going to help every single one of you out there, but it has certainly really helped me. And that's really what I'm looking to do. And again, this is important because whether it's personal or business, it's kind of a vicious cycle. Because if you go to work and you're not, things are stressful and you're not in the right up here, that shit's going to come home with you. People who say they can separate work from home, that's really, from what I've seen, it's really a bunch of crap. I mean, you can pretend that you leave work stuff at home, but if you are stressed out at your job, if you don't know how to deal with your crappy coworkers and the customers that you get, it doesn't matter what you feel. Once you come home, you're going to be stressed out because you got to go back to work the next day, and that stress is going to affect you at home. It's going to affect how you are as a husband or a wife or as a parent, right? And that's going to cause problems at home. You might get irritated and snap at your wife, snap at your kids, snap at your husband or whatever. And then you got to go back to work, and then things at work are the same. And it just same thing over and over and over again. So learning how to understand yourself, how to understand people, why we feel the way that we do about things, why people make the stupid decisions that they make, why customers are so nasty, why coworkers are so nasty sometimes. We all have those coworkers that you're wondering, how did they get hired? How are they still working there? Understanding these types of things can really make your life so much easier. Makes you happier when challenges come your way. It gives you the ability to deal and handle with these things a lot easier, and you're less stressed. So just keep that in mind. Thanks for watching.